This presentation is a production of the Iowa State Bar Association with assistance from the Iowa State Bar Association Foundation, the Young Lawyers Division, and the Iowa State Bar Association Center for Law and Civic Education. Opening statement is the first opportunity that each team has to present its case and to tell its side of the story. Opening statement is also the first time that the judges who are hearing the case have a chance to learn what the dispute is about and how each side intends to present the evidence that's available. The student lawyer who delivers the opening statement for each team must assume that none of the judges hearing the case is familiar with the facts, the issues, or the parties. A well-done opening statement will provide that information to the judges and will answer questions that they may have about the facts, the issues, and the parties. If the judges have questions about the facts, the issues, and the parties once the opening statement is completed, the student attorney has failed in his or her effort. To accomplish the goal of providing the judges with information that they need about the facts, issues, and parties, a good opening statement should be well organized and concise. Keep in mind that there is a 4-minute time limit for an opening statement. The opening statement should provide a good picture of what the case is about. It should factually discuss the evidence that will be presented. The evidence needs to be presented in a factual manner. Argument in opening statement should be avoided, except for a prayer for the relief sought. The opening statement needs to present the theme of the case and provide a checklist of items the judges should look for during the presentation of each side's case in chief. A well-organized, concise opening statement will allow each of the judges to have a command of the facts of the case and an understanding of what is going to follow. A good opening statement will give a clear understanding of the theme of the case, as well as the relief that is going to be requested when the case is submitted to the judges for their decision on the merits. The student lawyer who gives an opening statement may use a chart or piece of demonstrable evidence. This can be a helpful device to keep the student's presentation on task and theme. It can also help the judges better understand the points the student is making about the facts, issues, and parties. Keep in mind, the demonstrable evidence may be no larger than 24 by 36 inches. A well-done opening statement has a clear, easily understood theme and is organized so that the judges clearly can identify the issues, the facts, and the parties.
May it please the court, opposing counsel. Shakespeare once said, "So rash, so young, they say never live long." Ricardo Romista was young. Ricardo Romista died young, and although we cannot bring him back, we must ask ourselves, was he being too rash when he recklessly decided to drink, causing him to fall and then later die? By taking these risks, he took the chance to die. It all started with a party. Ricardo Romista was known for being wild and reckless, and at this party, that recklessness cost him his life. He went to a party and got drunk. So drunk, he had a blood alcohol level of 0.09. He then decided to get away from the party. He went onto a balcony and lost his balance, causing him to fall 20 to 40 feet, landing on gravel and pavement, severely injuring his left side and causing numerous abrasions. He was taken to the hospital and there died. The plaintiff said that Ricardo Romista climbed a roller coaster in the Prince of Denmark amusement park just to see a ghost and join a society called the Gravediggers. They said that Claudia Dana, the defendant, was negligent in securing her amusement park, and therefore his death is her fault. Who to believe? The plaintiff has the burden of proof and must prove through preponderance of evidence that Claudia Dana was negligent in securing her amusement park. They will fail to meet this burden. Though, if by any slim chance you find Claudia Dana negligent in any way, you must take in consideration the following. For Claudia Dana to have been negligent in securing her amusement park, she must have failed to properly secure the amusement park. She must have failed to maintain a sufficient and adequate fence. She must have removed the safety rails from the roller coaster. She must have removed the lighting from the park. She must have failed to properly supervise her park, and she must have failed to permanently dismantle her park in a safe and timely manner. Your Honor, this case deals with comparative negligence, and in order for we, the defense, to prove this, we must prove the following propositions. That the plaintiff knew the risk was present, that the plaintiff understood the nature of the risk to himself, and that the plaintiff freely, unreasonably, and voluntarily took this risk. And finally, that the plaintiff's assumption of the risk was the proximate cause of his damage. We will call 3 witnesses to prove our claim. Claudia Dana, the owner of the amusement park, will testify that she had excellent security measures, and because of these measures, Mr. Brumista did not die in her park. Mr. Schultz, the guard from the respectable employer of CSI, will testify that he was there the whole time, and the only person who came to the park was Mr. Dale Small. And finally, Mr. Kranz, a student who knew Mr. Brumista, who will testify that he was at the party in which Mr. Brumista died. Your Honor, the plaintiff said that Mr. Brumista climbed the roller coaster. The evidence will show otherwise. Your Honor, this case deals with circumstantial evidence, bias, and contradictions. We ask that you listen carefully and ask yourself, what motive does the plaintiff witnesses have to find Claudia Dana negligent? Or more importantly, what are they covering up about Ricardo Brumista, a rash young man who chose not to live long? Thank you, Your Honor.
An issue that often arises during opening statement is whether the student attorney should use notes. As a general rule, a well-organized and presented opening statement that is delivered without notes should receive consideration for a high score from the judges. This demonstrates that the student lawyer has made extra effort and preparation. This type of presentation should receive more points than a well-delivered opening in which the student lawyer uses substantial notes. By the same token, a well-delivered opening with only a few references to notes should be considered for a high score. Finally, a student lawyer who reads from a script should receive fewer points. Done properly, an opening statement sets the theme and the tenor for the remainder of the trial and assures that the judges have a clear understanding of the facts, the issues, and the parties in the case that they are hearing.